Okay, guys, this is the second type of scribble method that we're going to talk about. This is a more controlled method where it's a loose style, but it's more gestural than the other style of loose that we did, which was kind of all over the page. Gestural being a loose and quick representation of our primitive shapes. We're sticking with primitives because everybody is familiar with them, although you could branch out if you wanted to. Some quick rules that I like to follow, and of course you can break these. There's no real hard and fast rules, but rules that I like to follow in this game. Remember, it's all about a game for me. I like to stay with closed shapes next to each other. Sometimes I overlap the lines or overlap the shapes. I always draw and repeat a drawing of a shape, and I have those lines overlap. I kind of like it. I like that movement that happens between all of those lines together, but it also allows me freedom to pick which one I like the best when I go back and solidify and make my confident line or silhouette around that. I also try to use odd numbers of shapes. Remember my affinity for odd numbers. And of course, I always want to play with variety of scale and proportion. And I think the bigger picture in everything is to help us loosen up with our drawing, loosen up with our lives, everything. I've done a couple of examples here, but I want to show you one in real time. I'm going to do a couple of circles here, and notice that I just keep going over it and over it, and maybe even continue just drawing another one smaller, and maybe even branch out into a larger triangle, or let's skew that into a rectilinear form. It's skewed, so that's okay, almost like a triangle that has been chopped off. And let's do two more shapes. Break our line there, keep going over and over again, try to find that, and maybe another circle that's bigger than the rest. Notice that these lines, a lot like that scribble technique we did before, a lot of these lines are unsure of themselves until I like the flow. So it's kind of like light drawing, and then finally you just commit and make that bigger drawing. Let's see. So what I can do then, just like I did here, I can then take this drawing and really start to find a pleasing outline. Notice that all of the lines are there for me to choose from and kind of refine. Now, regarding this one, a lot of times your designs won't turn out well, or, there might be something that bothers you. In this piece, I think it's the fact that this is the way it is. I probably couldn't put it into words right now. There's just something that bothers me about this area, and maybe it would be better if I were to just negate this altogether and just keep this. I think that'd be more interesting. I think this maybe just be too heavy for the rest of this. But when we solidify, if I could go back to this one, I've drawn this pretty dark anyway, but if I were to solidify this, I can come back with a dark line and really hammer home those lines, and even get some of these negative spaces, which I really like. almost like we've chopped those areas out of the shape to get this type of shape. And of course, this is very loose and sketchy. I've solidified those lines, but eventually it'd be nice to see this in a pen and ink format, nice and clean. But again, you know how much I love process. I love these gestural lines. So remember to keep everything, and perhaps we'll add in some details to this and maybe some cut lines or contour lines just to help break this up. And we'll talk about that in a future class. Okay, guys, we'll do a bunch of these together and we will see you next time. All right, be safe out there. Take care. Bye-bye.